I'm actually surprised they let us in this place. Restaurant Olivia opened in 2020, and despite its unassuming exterior, it has quickly become one of the more renowned restaurants in Denver, Colorado. The people love it. The local publications are all on board. And in terms of starred recognition by the most prominent, if pretentious, gatekeepers of perceived restaurant greatness, if Olivia hasn't officially gotten it by the time you watch this, chances are they will before too long. The food is excellent, the experience intimate, and the hospitality may be the best in the city. The people here care deeply, not just about how a dinner tastes, but how it feels. Let's dive in. I'm Sam Newman, I'm a Denver realtor, and I love exploring our city. Come along with me on The Dispatch. Olivia has a reputation in the Denver food community for being one of the best pasta-centric restaurants in town.
Great.
Did you plan on that?
I guess in a way, yeah. Why would you start an endeavor that you love without wanting to be the best?
Right.
So, yep, we planned on that.
And how did you get there?
I think it's a pretty good combination of having three of us with eyes on different sections of the operation. So with Ty being food focused, me being hospitality focused, and Austin being business and beverage, we're kind of able to do more.
You know, we've got back of the house, we've got sort of beverage and business, and then we have hospitality. And I think it's the totality of all of those things that really puts us in a position to be who we are. And all three of us, we came together at Mizuna, wanting to piece something together in service of the idea that there is nobility in this profession, and there's nobility in the idea of service and hospitality and the way that you make somebody feel.
Warmth, kindness. I want people to welcome me before they start selling me things. I just love to be taken care of in a genuine fashion that isn't all about sales and getting me in and out. And so that's what we really focus on, is how we make people feel.
I think everything about a restaurant is built on the experience that you provide a person, right? And at the end of the day, like if you want a super dirty martini or you want to put ice in your wine, do it. It's awesome. Like whatever we can do to facilitate you being happy, having an experience in this restaurant is what kind of anchors us to this idea that hospitality makes the world a better place. And having a chef that's on board with that idea facilitated everything that's happened since.
Grew up in Arizona, kind of just randomly knew what I wanted to do. Started doing culinary classes in home ec. That's kind of like where my career started.
Awesome.
And just like one of the lucky few people that knew right away what I wanted to do. Moved out here in 2007, go to culinary school, moved away to California, to New York a few different times, kind of see what those environments were like, and always brought myself back here. Everything out, even in California, was just, it was taking the fun out of it. Chefs would walk in and be like, what are they gonna yell at about today? And then so that mentality always brought me back here, and then always didn't want to be that chef, you know?
Ty is the chef that says yes. Whenever Austin and I would have a special request, we want to do something special for this guest. If Ty could do it, he would do it. He would say yes. And that's kind of rare.
Whether it's, with the guests or whether it's with your employees, it seems to be a place that people want to be.
Yeah, we try and make that happen, for sure. It's always at the foremost of what we do here before even the food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Try and create this culture for guests and employees.
So then why pasta?
Because it's good and everybody craves it. We decided against French for our next concept while we had a French restaurant. And we were literally thinking to ourselves, let's go out to eat and talk over what concept we should do. And we were like, what do we want to eat? And we were all like, pasta. And we did realize that people really do crave pasta. They think they crave French food, but I think they only crave it about once a year.
Pasta is kind of something that just always spoke to us. We enjoyed working with our hands. We enjoyed the shapes that we could make. We're not locked into one specific thing. You can fill a tortellini with 1,000 different fillings. So that was always kind of like what drew me and then Austin and Heather to that as well.
And we have Emily literally making pasta right
Yeah.
behind us.
Yeah.
I mean, did you set this up for the camera, or is this a typical day?
It's a typical day. Yeah, Emily's our pasta maker. She kind of comes in around 5 or 6 in the morning and then leaves around 1 or 2.
Wow.
But she rolls every single piece of pasta that comes out of this restaurant. She's doing colorgiones right now.
What is that?
A little semolina-based dough. It's kind of like a dumpling filled with potatoes and pecorino. As far as the way we see ourselves, pasta first, Italian food second. So yeah, we'll kind of get flavors come from really wherever, whatever is inspiring us that day, or that week or month.
When you say what inspires you that week, day, month, whatever, where does that inspiration come from?
Everywhere.
Seriously, everywhere. Even here, on Maui, hunting axis deer in the middle of the night. I gotta ask you about the axis deer thing.
Sure.
You have a really, really awesome program going on. You're one of 3 restaurants in America?
We are.
And the other 2, Alinea
To my knowledge, Olivia and French Laundry.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. And so, just in a nutshell, what is it?
We sought out a guy named Jake Muse, who owns a company called Maui Nui. So they're based on the island of Maui, and they're harvesting axis deer, effectively. So harvesting it for commercial sale, which is unique in and of itself. And there are, I came across him on a podcast 3 or 4 years ago, and just kind of cold emailed him to ask if they would be up for selling to restaurants. Started working with their product. Heather and I are users of their product at home, and nutritional density is off the charts. The taste is absolutely phenomenal, but when you dig into their story, it's the type of thing that makes you proud to be a restaurateur.
We're super thankful for being one of only 3 restaurants in America, continental United States, that utilizes this, and we take that seriously, and it's a really big talking point for us. Like, kind of our stories about sustainability always start with the axis deer, because it's a very easy thing to talk about. Why does our venison come from Hawaii when we could get it from Texas or Montana or Colorado?
Right.
So buying from good stewards of the earth is kind of what it always like boils down to.
We had the opportunity to go January of last year and actually see this process in person, to see the devastation on the landscape from a species that was introduced in the 1860s that doesn't have any natural predators, and then watch the process by which he and his team manage that population, but do it kind of with this broader goal in mind, being the indigenous people in Hawaii, or local inhabitants of Hawaii, all of the other things, flora and fauna, that are affected by this species being on the landscape, and then ultimately the cool things that we're allowed to do with it as a restaurant, sourcing the product. And it's as inspiring a product as anything we work with.
From a flavor perspective, how is that venison? If I order that venison, what's my experience going to be?
It's not gamey, which is, I grew up hunting. I stopped hunting because I don't like the taste of venison or deer, elk. But I love this axis deer that we get in. It's a very complex flavor profile that's not gamey whatsoever. It tastes like biting into a steak.
Really?
Yeah.
If I may, I am drawn to people who give a shit. That's why I'm here. These people actually care, not just about running a successful business, but about their guests, and about the environment, and about the world.
We started, obviously, always have done the Denver recycling of the easy to recycle things. We now have 2 different companies that pick up our hard to recycle items. They're Happy Beetle and Ridwell, and those are both Denver companies. We also do composting through scraps. So we put very little in the landfill at this point, especially for a restaurant. I think the percentage of stuff that goes in the landfill is the smallest of any restaurant I've ever worked with.
Amazing.
It's wonderful.
When you come in here at dinner, I, as a patron, see a lot to be proud of for you guys, for the ownership team. What are you most proud of?
Truly the staff and the way they make people feel. It goes from all the sustainability efforts to literally how they show someone to the restroom. You know, there's just a warmth to everybody that works here. And to be able to find those people and get them all to work for you is amazing.
Yes.
Like, we just have the nicest people, and that's part of the feel of this place, is just that it's a bunch of really good people.
There's just a warmth. And couldn't the world use a little more of that these days? Indeed, as a wise man once said, there is nobility in this profession. See you next time, friends.